What is up, guys? Rick Cacus here, and today we are going to be taking a look at the all-new Leviathan Raid sniper rifle, the Alone as a God. As of only this week, this weapon has been added into the Leviathan Raid loot table, so you can go and complete a raid encounter and have a chance of getting this weapon, or also presumably by simply leveling up your raid faction at the tower. It seems that the Leviathan Raid will have a rotating loot table, so every single week a different amount of its overall weaponry will be available to get. And so, is the Alone as a God sniper rifle any good? Well, in this video, we're going to showcase its stats and perks, and then we're going to talk about how this weapon performs in PvP, and then in PvE. And so, let's get started on the basis of this weapon, its stats and its perks. Stats-wise, this is a low damage sniper rifle. It also has fairly low range. However, to counteract this, it has a pretty high rate of fire, a large magazine of 6, great handling, and pretty darn good reload speed as well. Now moving on to the perks, we have the intrinsic perk Rapid Fire Frame. This is what most of this damage archetype possesses. Deeper ammo reserves, slightly faster reload when magazine is empty. We then have the choice of 3 ballistics. I went with small bore to maximize the range and the stability. Moving on from there, we have 2 very interesting perks. The first one being the raid perk Ambitious Assassin. Overflows the magazine based on the number of rapid kills before reloading. The other perk is Triple Tap. Rapidly landing precision hits will return 1 round to the magazine from the reserves. And the final perk is Snapshot Sights, faster time to aim down sights. And so, moving on, let's talk about how this weapon performs in the Crucible. Well, it's got a lot of good things going for it. 6 rounds every time you pick up power ammo. That is no joke. Snapshot is also a very, very good perk, and this is quite twitchy when it comes to aiming down sights extremely fast. Like, it's very, very good in that aspect. A lot of people are really going to want a sniper with snapshot sights if they snipe very competitively, because being able to pull up that sight picture faster than normal is a great advantage. And if you're 1v1ing another guy with a sniper rifle, you have snapshot sights and they don't, you round the corner at the same time as them, you're going to win that gunfight almost 100% of the time. Another good feature of this weapon is its sight. It doesn't have a high zoom optic. In fact, it has a rather low zoom optic, and that's definitely what you want in PvP. Like in Destiny 1, it was all about the snapshot sight, the ambush sights, all of that stuff. This sight might be a little bit more zoom than those, but not by much. It's a rather low zoom scope, which is fantastic. And those are the positives of this weapon, and those positives are actually pretty decent. I think the Alone as a God is going to be better than your average legendary sniper rifle. However, it does also have some pretty big negatives, and the main one is that it just doesn't do a lot of damage. Because it's in that low damaging archetype, you're going to need 3, I repeat, 3 body shots to kill an opponent in PvP, and that is really not what you want. Because no matter who you are, you're gonna miss every once in a while, and a quick double body shot kill is fantastic, whereas a triple body shot kill, well, that's half your ammo right there. It's also very depressing to see an enemy with no shields, shoot him in the body expecting a kill, and see him run away with almost no health. In addition to that, Triple Tap is all but useless in PvP because it draws from the reserves, so you don't get any bonus ammunition whatsoever. Ambitious Assassin has the same problem, never comes up in PvP. And although this sniper is snappy due to snapshot sights, it doesn't feel crispy. Like, it just doesn't feel like it has a lot of aim assist. You get those sick drag scopes, you shoot what appears to be on the person's head or neck, and you just get a really depressingly little damage body shot. So it just didn't feel like that great of a sniper to me overall. I would much prefer certain legendary snipers over the Alone as a God, frankly. It's certainly not terrible, but I also don't think it's that good. But moving on from there, we need to discuss how the Alone as a God performs in PvE. And from the looks of things, it should be good, right? I mean, Triple Tap was one of, if not the best perk you were looking for on a PvE sniper rifle in Destiny. Well, unfortunately, the Alone as a God isn't that great in PvE either. And here's why. Mainly, it's due to two things. Number one, it's that low damage sniper archetype. You would much rather have this weapon in the middle of the road damage archetype. It would be able to output so much more damage, especially with Triple Tap. And the second reason is Triple Tap. Although Triple Tap isn't bad, the fact that it draws from the reserves certainly doesn't do the Alone as a God any favors. You would much rather have Triple Tap just making ammunition appear in the magazine, and I'm not sure why Bungie didn't do that. This weapon would be perfectly balanced if Triple Tap did that. It makes no sense why it draws from the reserves, and the fact that it does draw from the reserves means that the most you can possibly do is get 8 rounds from a single magazine of the Alone as a God on a single target. So if you're DPSing a raid boss, for example, and you're just absolutely going ham and hitting every single shot, you're going to get 2 extra rounds in a magazine. But again, those 2 rounds come out of the reserves. So you're going to reload and have pretty much less than a magazine anyways. It just doesn't make any sense. It basically is the same as getting 6 rounds, reloading, and then just getting another 6 rounds instead of another 4 rounds and 8 rounds to begin with because of Triple Tap. It just doesn't really cause a huge difference in damage output, quite frankly. And also, Triple Tap does matter a lot more when you have an extremely powerful weapon that extending the magazine is a very big deal. Like if you have one of the highest damage sniper rifles with only 3 rounds in a magazine, Triple Tap adding 25% to the magazine by adding 1 more, that's going to be a pretty big deal, and that's going to overall increase your damage output because reloading takes a while and so on. But just having 6 rounds, reloading and getting another 6 right away with a low damage sniper rifle, Triple Tap just doesn't matter that much. Its low damage also makes it not that great against singleton targets. Like, you don't want to be having to use all 6 rounds and then 8 in total with Triple Tap on a single target. That's a lot of ammunition. And it's pretty depressing when you're using this weapon and you shoot a red health knight in the head and don't kill him. You gotta shoot another round. So I would much rather prefer a more heavy hitting sniper rifle in PvE as well. With all of that being said, it's still not a terrible weapon. If you get this and you don't really have a decent sniper rifle, you're probably going to enjoy it. Getting 8 rounds out with rapid succession on like a spider tank or something at a public event is pretty fun to do. And this weapon is a fun gun to use. It looks fantastic. Like, the design of this weapon is so amazing. But in terms of functionality for PvP and PvE, there's just better choices. That's all this weapon really suffers from. There's better choices out there. Now, if Bungie ever does buff Triple Tap, which I really think they should, like there's no reason to have it functioning as it does right now, I think this weapon definitely deserves a second look. But as it stands right now, it's pretty average. Now, throughout this video, I've been saying that other sniper rifles would be better alternatives to the Alone as a God, so I think it's only fair to give you guys some examples. Firstly, a legendary sniper that I think is better than the Alone as a God is the sniper a single clap. This weapon, firstly, it exists in the higher damage archetype than the Alone as a God, so it's doing more damage per shot, which is very, very good. It's a 2-hit body shot kill in PvP, and also it's got some very good perks. Adaptive frame is decent. It's got a low zoom optic, which is fantastic. It's also got tactical mag, which will bring up the magazine size to 5. And with this damage archetype, that is very good. You're losing out on 1 shot in the magazine, but you're gaining more damage with every single shot by using this weapon. It also has the very, very good perk Explosive Payload. Projectiles create an area of effect detonation on impact. In PvP, I've shot walls and had this weapon still kill the enemy because he was close enough nearby to be hit by the explosion. In PvE, the ability to shoot this weapon into a horde of thralls and kill all of them because it causes that explosion is so effective. So this weapon has a lot of utility in both PvP and PvE, and I think overall it's going to be something that's a little bit better than the Alone as a god. In terms of exotics, although I don't have currently the Borealis or the Darcy, I've heard good things for both of them. The Borealis specifically, in the raid encounter, I had a teammate using it and he was putting up pretty impressive damage numbers with it, so I would consider that as well. And so guys, that's it for the video. I hope you enjoyed and found this informative. Now, if you did, please remember to help me out by simply rating and especially sharing this video. If you guys want to see more Destiny 2 content similar to this, don't be afraid to slap that subscribe button. Now, if you're enjoying all of this content and want to support myself and the channel, check out the official merchandise linked in the description down below. If you guys want to get in touch with me and keep up to date with the latest channel activity, the best way is to follow me on Twitter at RickKakis. That's linked in the description down below, as is my Twitch channel, which you can also follow. Again, I hope you enjoyed the video, and as always, have a good day.